What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the Run Pure Sports PGA Strokes Gain DFS show. I'm your host, Mangone, back with the usual crew. We got AP, we got Hoop. We'll kick it off with you first, AP. We didn't have you last week, but we got you here for the major. How's it going over there, and how you feeling for this week?
It's going good, man. It's just like we got sport on top of sport on top of sport. We got NBA Finals approaching, and, the U.S. Open's here. It's kind of crazy, but I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, I'm with you. I'm excited for this week. It should be a fun one. I feel pretty good about the guys I like. I feel like I don't like everyone too, right? That's always a good feeling. So, yeah, I feel pretty good about it overall. Hopefully, you guys don't confuse me. We can get it narrowed down properly, and we can help each other out and give the winners out to the people, right? That's the most important thing. Hoop, I'll head on over to you. How's it going over there? How are you feeling about this week?
Yeah, it's going well. Excited for you. It doesn't feel like a U.S. Open week, obviously, with football going on and whatnot, but I'm excited for it. This course is going to be, probably the toughest course, that any of us have seen in a long time. So it's going to be fun to watch. In terms of last week, man, we were close. Our favorite guy was Doc Redman, and he made a charge for us on Sunday. What was he, 10 under, right? 10 under on Sunday?
Yeah, he shot a little 10 under, which was good for me. I was very excited, and it worked out, right? A little backdoor cover from him, basically. So I can't complain about what Doc did for me.
Yeah, so, we're going to get our U.S. Open content, the playbook, core plays, tiers up, hopefully at the latest by tomorrow morning. So, what we have at Run Pure Sports is kind of like an all-in-one type price. So, it's a pretty low monthly price compared to other competitors in the industry. And you get everything on the site, which includes our NFL content, which includes Big T Showdown winners, which is, a big, very popular item in the industry, Big T Showdown content. So one price all in gets you absolutely everything on the site. Like I said, the U.S. Open content should be pretty close to finalized by tomorrow morning.
Yeah, and by tomorrow morning, you mean Wednesday morning, right? Because we're doing this Tuesday night for the people. So, if you're watching on Wednesday, don't think we mean Thursday morning. It'll hopefully be up by then. We got AP. I want to head on over to you real quick here. I want to ask you a question. It's a U.S. Open, right? And Hoop he kind of mentioned it. It's going to be a little bit of a tougher course. Do you have some of the info on the course for the people? Because this is one I think you're going to have to be pretty accurate at.
Yeah, I was just reading Coop's article. So go check that out on the site. He breaks the course down really well and gets into it deeper than I would for sure. The course is tough. You want to find the fairway. The rough is brutal. Snyder was saying, 6-inch rough, and it's going to grow throughout the week. They're not going to cut it. The greens, I heard, are going to be brutal. A lot of undulation in the greens. Honestly, like what I love about that is it brings like bad putters into play. You always think, like if you're an average, PGA player, and we'll probably get into this when we talk about it more, but like when putting is really tough, it kind of takes away from the good putters, the guys that always get it online and, when the greens are running true. But no, we got, bumpy POA this week. That's going to be tough, a lot of undulation. And this course is long too. So I don't know, man. I don't like to get over too complicated. It's a tough course, and we want good golfers that are patient and are just the best golfers. I think it's as simple as that.
Yeah, I like it. I know Snyder said, I think Snyder had something good he posted. He said in an interview, Patrick Reed said, the tougher the setup, the better. Let's separate the field. So, and you're going to see the field separated, right? Like you're not going to see some of these random guys that are towards the bottom, that are like no names really, be out there competing, right? You're going to see the top of the leaderboard is going to be good name golfers for the most part. Let's dive in and let's talk about it. And obviously, we're going to start with the good name golfers, right? We're going to start with Dustin Johnson, John Rahm, AP's boy Justin Thomas, Rory McIlroy, Xander Schauffele, and we'll put Colin Morikawa in there. The 10K and above range. Hoop, I'll head on over to you first. How are you approaching this 10K and above range?
Yeah, so I mean, when you look at this U.S. Open setup and how difficult it's going to be, I mean, I'd be shocked. I'd be shocked if a random guy kind of popped up and won this event. It's going to be most likely one of the better, well-known golfers in this field. The problem is the best guys are priced way more expensive than the crappy ones. That's kind of how the whole DFS thing works. So it makes it tough. And I honestly like all these guys except one. Like the only guy I don't think I could play is Rory right now. Just the game is so far off, has not looked right since the restart. I mean, he out of all the guys, since the restart, he had to have taken the biggest hit because he was playing very well before the restart, just never got it going. And, he's 10-5, and now he's up there with some guys that have been playing really, really good golf. Dustin Johnson, I mean, just on a tear right now. John Rahm, also on a tear right now. I think the setup for Justin Thomas is very favorable. I can probably give you the rundown that AP is going to give you, but I'll let him handle that because I know he's definitely got some excitement for Justin Thomas this week. Xander Schauffele, I think, will probably be the most highly owned guy in this range. He's always owned at like these majors and loaded field events, always has high ownership. I don't think that changes at all this week. And then Colin Morikawa, just been phenomenal. And, the price is up there at $10K, but the course fits him perfect, to be honest with you. Like he can hit a ton of fairways and he still has some length. He's not a super short hitter. He has decent length, hits fairways, and really good with his long irons, which is three of the most important things this week. It's a long course. You're going to need some length. You have to hit the fairways because, as you touched on in the opening, this rough, 5 to 6 inches. And I saw some videos where the ball is literally disappearing. Like if there's a first cut of rough and a second cut of rough, which is not far off the fairway. If you hit that, the ball's gone and you're literally just like chopping out of it to get back into play. You're looking at a bogey most likely. So this tier is loaded. I'm still having difficulty making the cuts here, but I know for sure it's going to be Rory out. And I like all these other guys.
I kind of agree with you. I mean, I think Rory definitely is one I'm not going to be on as much. And I don't know. I like a lot of the mid-range guys, so it's going to be tougher to get up to all these guys and kind of separate it. My favorite is probably Xander of anyone. That'd be my number one in this range. We'll go to UAP. What are you doing with this top end range of golfers? And we got to let you talk about Justin Thomas, of course.
I mean, I might surprise you guys a little bit. So let me just break down this range, how I see it. Like Dustin Johnson, clear number one play up top if you can find the salary to afford him. The guy's on a tear, coming off a win, the Tour Championship, second BMW, win at the Northern Trust, second at the PGA. And the dude dominates U.S. Opens. Like the U.S. Open is built for DJ. So I have a lot of interest in him. I think he's the clear number one guy up top if you can afford him. Like I want quality golfers in my lineup, and he's the highest priced guy. So sometimes it's tough to get 6 in there that you really like. Second, when you factor in price, I'm with you guys. I have Xander as my second ranked guy. And the reason is how good he is off the tee. He's also a big game hunter, but honestly, like getting off the tee and having distance here, I think that combination is going to be extremely important. And this dude, he ran like that combination alone, he ranks, inside the top 5 in this field. So I feel like that's going to be what separates him from some of these other guys. Then I got John Rahm. I got John Rahm third. Same thing. John Rahm is up there with Xander, just incredibly good off the tee. Both of them rank inside the top 5 when you factor in accuracy and distance. And, like Justin Thomas, like the one area where he can struggle is off the tee at times. And I mean, the dude's a phenomenal. If you get him on a course where it's all about approach and, the rough isn't as penal as it is going to be here, I love him there. Like a PGA Championship is the perfect setup for Justin Thomas. And, obviously he's a PGA Championship winner. The U.S. Open, man, I feel like he's not going to be able to get away with some of the stuff that he gets away with, and he's not putting good right now. And so in this, It's difficult. I have him and Morikawa pretty close to each other, and I'm a huge Justin Thomas homer. There's no way I can rank him ahead of Xander, John Rahm, and DJ. And with Rory, I'm with you guys. There's no way I can play him, and it's just so funny. Our boy Snyder, he dominates. He dominates the PGA content. The good dude is super sharp, just destroys the showdowns. He loves Rory more than anyone I've ever met in my life. And I was like, we take a team approach with the playbook. Like, we're all dialing in and working in that thing. And I saw him starting to write Rory's name, and I had to stop him. He deleted it so fast. Oh, it was so good.
It's time for an intervention.
Oh,
so it doesn't go well. If it doesn't go well this week, it's an intervention. We're pulling Snyder aside. We're having a team intervention.
Yeah, I mean, listen, like you guys know me, like I love Bryson more than anyone, but like I can't get behind how he's been playing too. So like there's just times you just got to get off it. And listen, getting off of Roy right now is definitely the move. It sounds like there's a lot of agreement though between us all. Yeah, I was surprised to hear AP not as high on Justin Thomas, but yeah, let's kind of give let's give a couple of guys that we like in this range. Give me your favorite and give me your favorite golfer in this range and your favorite fade.
Well, my favorite golfer is going to be John Rahm. I just think he's just golfing so well right now. He's kind of slow after the restart, but then when the playoffs hit, he kind of hit his stride, T13, T6, and then first won the BMW championship. I think the course fits him well. He's long, he's accurate. And he's smart, and the one thing I really liked was the event. I can't remember which event it was, but when I think he was in the lead and he got that penalty for picking up his ball. Like last year, like that happens to him, it's done. Like he's gone. Like he's a mental mess. But he bounced back and still won the event, and that shows a lot. So I think I like him the most up here, and then Rory going to be my fade. Like I just can't imagine playing Rory.
All right, I'd say mine's Xander, and then Roy's my fade. How about you, AP? What do you got there?
Yeah, mine's DJ, and Rory's the fade.
All right, let's head on over to the next range of golfers. We'll go from the 9K range to the 9.9, and there's a ton to like, right? I think the guys that stuck out to me, I thought Webb was really interesting, Berger and Hideki. Those are probably my three favorites in the 9K range. Hoop, how about you?
Yeah, so for me, this is a tough range because it's guys that I typically like quite a bit. The problem is I just like that top tier a little bit more. So if I'm liking that top tier and I'm going to play a few of those guys, it makes it hard to land in this, at least the upper 9K range. So it's easy for me. Like Bryson's a fade. Like this course is an awful fit for his new style of play where he's just going to bomb and gouge. Like you're not going to be able to do that here. Like you'll be done. And I just don't think he'll be able to adjust, and he's been playing so poorly. So he's an easy fade. Webb Simpson, I haven't decided on him yet. I like Webb Simpson as a golfer. But like I said, if I'm going to focus on that top tier, I just don't know how much Webb I can get, but I mean, he's solid. Like Webb's, there's no doubt about it. He's a solid play. I think I prefer those other guys. I think I prefer Morikawa and Xander, which will, won't really give me the option to play much Webb. Cantlay is a tough one for me. I always like Cantlay, but just hasn't been golfing all that well. I mean, go back to the St. Jude, T35, T43 at the PGA Championship, missed cut at the Northern Trust, and then the T12 at the BMW. I don't know. I'm probably going to have to fade him as well. And then I really like the three at the bottom. Berger, I mean, I like getting on guys and staying on them until they kind of screw me. And Berger hasn't screwed anyone since the restart. If you've been on Berger since the restart every week, you more than likely have done pretty well in PGA DFS. I mean, he's been phenomenal. I always like Finau, and I really like Hideki this week. Can't see, my head's in the way, but that's the featured picture behind me is Hideki. I think he's been close, and he's a guy that you can always count on for a T20-ish. And I think that's kind of his floor here. I think he can grind it out at this course, pick his spots, and I really like Hideki at 9K.
Yeah, definitely. I'm always a Hideki guy, so you can always talk me in, especially on these hard courses where he's just one of those dudes that can go super low, which he's done well in the past. AP, how about you? What are you doing with this 9K range?
Yeah, I mean, I don't think anyone's going super low this week, but I kind of agree with you guys. I think the best play in this range is Tony Finau at 9,100 on DraftKings. I think he's playing really well. I was stuck between him and Patrick Cantlay, and I think you just got to go with the form that Finau has. Like, I love Patrick. Like, if this was Patrick Cantlay last year, I'd be taking Patrick Cantlay. But there's something just a little bit off with this game to pay, arguably like a premium price for him. And I call it premium because he's priced higher than Daniel Berger, and Daniel Berger's been one of the best golfers out there. And so I got to side with Finau there in that range. And I love Hideki too. Like, one thing I was talking about was, like, it's going to be really difficult to putt here. And I feel like that helps the bad putter because it's more about ball striking and giving yourself an opportunity for a good two putt, because there's going to be a lot of two putts and some three putts here, and some really good golfers are going to three putt. So that's what I love for Hideki, because he's been scrambling so good. Like, this dude's been better with his wedges around the green than his actual putter. It's crazy. Like, over the last 36 rounds or something, he's like ranks 10th in scrambling in this field. I think that's like an incredible stat, and one you traditionally don't see with Hideki. So I absolutely love him. And then I think an easy fade for me up top is Bryson. I don't know. He's good off the tee. He's long, but like, I feel like he's going to try to overpower it, and he's going to find himself in the rough, and he's just going to blow up. And and if he tries to dial it back, he sucks with his long irons right now anyway. So I can't play Bryson. And I'm torn on Webb. Like, Webb is usually kind of, wayward off the tee a little bit. He's gotten better off the tee, and he's playing really good golf, and has a good track record at U.S. Opens. I'd so much rather pay a little bit more for like Xander and or John Rahm or DJ. So like, I don't see myself landing on Webb. I definitely think he's in play though. So for me, I'm looking at Finau and Matsuyama, and then I'm decided between Berger and Cantlay.
All right, Hoop, give me your top guy in this range. You got to pick one. Is it the guy in your picture right behind you?
Yeah, I'm going to go Hideki, but I think Finau is close. And just to add on to the Finau conversation is, he's a guy that I think a lot of people think, all right, you can only play him at these bomber type tracks, but he's been very good at tough, difficult courses. And, maybe if people still have that mindset that he is a bomber and he can't play these difficult courses, maybe it lowers the ownership a little bit. So I do like Finau a lot too, but I'm going to go Hideki 1. And then the fade is definitely Bryson for me.
Yep. AP, give me your number one guy in that range. We know you're fading Bryson, but who's the number one guy?
Yeah, I'll say Finau.
All right. Let's go on to the next range of golfers. We got the 8K range, and there's a lot of guys I like in this range. And definitely some guys I'm going to be all over. I'm going to be pretty overweight on Patrick Reed. That's one guy I like a ton in this range. Tyrell Hatton, too. Big fan of Matthew Fitzpatrick. Those are my three favorite. I'll go to you, Hoop. How are you handling this 8K range?
Yeah, it's another range where I'm going to be more so focused on the bottom of the range, not so much the top. The one guy at the top I do have a little interest in is Tommy Fleetwood. He was not good whatsoever. And then he went back overseas and the Portugal Masters, wherever. Yeah, Portugal Masters. He finished at T3. Obviously not not close to the field that we're going to see this week, but maybe he found something in his game. So I'll have a little bit of Fleetwood. I don't think he's going to have high ownership, so it won't take much to get over the field. You guys know me. I fade Patrick Reed every single week, and I usually feel pretty good about it. But this week I'm going to look at him a little bit. I like him at these grinded out courses where you don't need a ton of birdies, and bogeys. Accepting a bogey opposed to a double bogey is okay. I'm going to have some Patrick Reed this week. I like the quotes. I think Mangone has some of those that he'll talk about because I know he's on Reed this week. But I like Reed for the first time in a while. Can't imagine playing Ricky Fowler here. Like, that seemed probably like the worst play on the board. Hatton I like, and Fitzpatrick. I like Fitzpatrick, kind of like Reed at these tougher type courses where you kind of just grind out a bunch of pars and pick your spots. So so a little bit of Fleetwood, Reed, Hatton, and Fitzpatrick for me here.
Yeah, and if you look at Fitzpatrick, he's got a lot of good correlation with like the tough courses, right? Always does pretty well there, and yeah, I'm expecting that here as well. Yeah, Patrick Reed. The thing I mentioned at the top of the show basically talked about how Patrick Reed said he likes these tougher courses, basically likes to grind them out. And the thing I love about Patrick Reed, it feels like he's always grinding no matter what, right? He's not the guy that nails it in on Sunday. He's still, even if he's kind of in like tied for 30th, like he still might find a way to grind himself into the top 10. So AP, how about you? How are you handling this 8K range?
Yeah, I think there's a lot of good plays in this range, and I agree with Hoop on many of them. I'll go to one he didn't mention that I like. I don't think a lot of people are going to play him. He hasn't been playing a ton of golf, and he's had some really bad results, but he was really good and posted a top 10 at the PGA. He is T25th at the Northern Trust. The Wyndham was like a birdie fest, so I don't really care about that because he's not a birdie fest type of guy, but he's definitely a guy that knows how to grind it out, and that's Justin Rose. I mean, this guy, like, when I look at this course and the layout, we're going to have a lot of long iron shots, which is why there's a guy I really like, and I think Hoop likes him a lot too in the 7K range, who's like probably one of the best long iron players in the world. But Justin Rose is right up there. He's 7th in the field when you're looking at proximity from, quite a ways out, 170, 175 to that 200 range. So I feel like what's going to happen with Rose, he's 8,400. I feel like he's going to get lost in the mix, and a lot of people aren't going to play him. I see like a 6 to 7% ownership projection on him. I feel very confident that he makes the cut here, and I feel like he sneaks in for another top 10 like he did at the PGA. I bet if you asked 10 people how did Rose do at the PGA, everyone would say he probably did bad, and he played really well. So I like Justin Rose. Man, I don't think I'm going to get on the Patrick Reed train. I know he likes tough courses and stuff, but I hate playing Patrick Reed. And anytime he starts chirping, he's not really a guy that usually can back it up. Mangone, maybe you can talk me onto him.
No, I mean his nickname's the villain because he likes to chirp and he'll show up when he needs to. I mean,
I think I'd almost rather play like Adam Scott and Justin Rose for me, just two guys that are patient golfers that can grind it out, and their names too. But they're both going to be lower owned. I agree with what Hoop said about Tommy Fleetwood. Tommy Fleetwood is always someone that I'm going to be interested in. I was high on him at the PGA. He finished T29. I think he was actually cheaper priced at the PGA Championship, and he was lower owned. I want to say it was like 4 to 5%. So honestly, just from like a leverage standpoint, he's projected to be 10%, 10 to 12% here. I might move off of him and might move those shares to Justin Rose, which will allow me to get, pay up a little bit more. And then the other guys, I like Fitzpatrick. Fitzpatrick's been a guy that's just, when we have a tough course, he's been crushing these tough courses. He was caught at the PGA, which is kind of concerning. But man, T6 at the BMW and 3rd at the Memorial. I'll definitely have interest in him. And then the other guy, Victor Hovland. We're talking guys that can get off the tee, good ball strikers. I feel like Hovland's going to go under owned too because, I don't really know why he's going to go under owned. I mean, he's not been like bagging top 10s, but this dude's not missing cuts. He's still playing good golf. So, I mean, I guess maybe 2 shaky results at the Tour Championship and the BMW, but outside of that, he's still playing pretty decent. Yeah, I think that rounds it up for me.
Yeah, I will say like the Rose call, if he's going to be low owned, I like it. I think it's definitely worth looking at. We didn't talk about Jason Day yet. I think I prefer him at lower ownership. I think this could be one that he does pretty well at. But both those are definitely good calls. I think there's some good low owned guys that you can maybe grab here. It just depends what angle you want to play on them. The one last thing I'll say on Reed AP is, man, the one thing you love about him too is he's a great scrambler, right? And at these tough courses where you kind of have to get a little creative, that's always a bonus for someone like him. So that'll wrap it up for me. I'm gonna say Reed's my favorite guy in this range. AP, who's your favorite?
Can we all agree like Tiger's a fade? Like you guys aren't playing Tiger Woods here, right? Yeah, what's his ownership projection going to be?
So here's the thing.
It doesn't even matter.
No, I want to say this, AP. Let me say this. So I hadn't played Tiger all season long. I was like, or not even all season, since he basically came back, I never played Tiger. I had this like strong rule, never going to play him. Then he won that Masters at low ownership. And I was like, if I can ever get him low owned, I'll consider it. And I tried to do it like a couple weeks ago and he wasn't low owned. He was like, 11%. Like, I'm not buying it. I better see the ownership at like 2 to do it. That there's no chance I'm doing it unless it's really, really low. Let's go to you, Hoop. No Tiger, correct? We're off him for good.
No, man, I don't know why people still try to make it happen. It's just, I love Tiger more than anyone else. It would be if he on Sunday is holding the trophy and wins the whole thing, I'll be thrilled. It'll be expensive for me because I'm going to have 0%, but I would be more excited than anything if he won it. But man, for DFS purposes, it's just to make the case for Tiger, I think is just, you're chasing something that was, at least 2 to 3 years far gone.
Yep, I'm with you on that. AP, so who's your guy? Who's your top one in this range if you had to pick one?
Yeah, I think I'm going to go with Justin Rose. I like the low ownership projection on him.
Like the call. Mine's Pat Reed. How about you, Hoop? Who's your guy in the 8K range?
Hatton.
All right. Yeah, Hatton. He's another one. Like, I love that 8K range a little bit for sure. But I will say, Hoop, the more I think about like that construction, of course, I want to get up to those high-end guys. So that's the thing. I always love the mid-tier build. And I'm excited to get your guys' thoughts on this 7K and 6K range because I think this is going to be a big decision points to be made this week. So let's look at it. The 7-9 to the, let's go 7-9. We'll go to, let's go to 7-5, right? Because I think this is a good range of guys. We got Sergio Garcia at 7-5 all the way up to 7-9. We got Harris English. So a lot of guys in this range to look at that you can make cases for. Hoops guy, Gary Woodland's in there. We got AP's guy, Matthew Wolf, my guy, Abraham Manser. So we'll have to give our takes on those different guys. Billy Horschel's in there, Big T's guy. So let's go to you, AP. Kick it off for us. You said that there's a guy in the 7K range that's pretty good with the long irons. Is he in this range?
Yeah, I before I get to him, I love Matt Wolf this week. I think I'm going to place an outright on him. We'll get to that later when we do our winners prediction. But man, he has his whole team out there. Like I saw that George Gankis and like the whole crew's out there helping him out. They're obviously trying to get him really dialed in. He's just playing phenomenal golf right now, 4th at the PGA. And the guy had a shot to win it. It just came down to putting. And obviously he wasn't going to win it because Colin Morikawa was just, his buddy was just, better than everyone. But man, these young guys are so good. And like the thing about Wolf that I love, and I didn't play him at the PGA. Like, I don't know I was on the show with the Wednesday guys. And I felt so dumb for fading him. This dude was just pounding every green. His accuracy and his distance has just gotten phenomenal. And he's going to be a guy I'm extremely overweight on. Might just click the lock button. I don't see him. I see him definitely contending this week. So Matty Wolf, 7,700, absolutely love him. And then, Louis Oosthuizen. When you think about a guy like tough course, a guy that grinds it out, a guy with really good with his irons and just kind of comes out of nowhere. A guy that also, is withdrawal risk with his history. But I like Louis Oosthuizen. I think he always shows up for majors, and I like him when it's difficult. And I think this one, I think I'll definitely get some shares of Oosty this week for sure.
Yeah, the Oosthuizen's definitely one I looked at a little bit. And I typically don't look at him, but I think he's definitely in play this week. So I like that.
Like Gary Woodland's just not been getting it done.
I agree.
Wrong with his game. The thing about Gary, and I love Gary Woodland too. He's a Kansas guy, down at Topeka, is where he's from. And this dude, if you look at everything last year, he was like one of the best guys on tour off the tee. Like that was his thing. He was hitting every fairway and he was pounding it. He's not this year. He's like been terrible off the tee. And so there's something going on there. He's still very good on approach. But man, he has some stuff to get going if he wants to go back to back.
Well, that was my concern with Woodland. So I saw the off the tee game right away was pretty bad. And I said, well, let's wait and see how it looks. And he also had that weight loss, right? So when clearly something extreme happened, right? So obviously because he lost his weight, his game could be changing. Hoop, how about you? I know you're a big Gary Woodland guy. He still hasn't been the worst for you, I think, since the restart. I mean, he's had some decent spots, but he's had some bad spots too. So what are you doing there with Woodland in the 7K range?
Yeah, I mean, Woodland's a guy. He's just one of my guys. I can't quit him. I can't get away from him. He has not been golfing well, but I mean, was it the U.S. Open last year where he won it? Right? Did he win the U.S. Open last year?
Yeah, I think you're right. 'Cause, I mean, it feels like forever ago because of the way the schedule is, but I believe that was it, right, AP?
Yeah, he's the defending champ.
Yeah, so he likes maybe he likes the U.S. Open setup. Who knows? I'll be on him. I mean, Paul, this range, man, I like the upper sevens opposed to the lower sevens. Paul Casey, I think if you're smart, you fade him in tournaments. I'm not smart. I'll be playing him. I'm a sucker for Paul Casey, especially when he's not like super expensive. I'm guessing he's going to be pretty highly owned, 7.9K price tag. I'll be playing him, but I definitely understand if you want to fade him in tournaments. I'm with AP, and I think you as well, Mangone, on Wolf. I really like Wolf. I mean, he's been golfing well, and it's not fake. I mean, you go back to the Memorial, 22nd, 12th, 49th, 4th, 44th, 16th. It's 7.7K. Like any of those outcomes is likely fine here. So really like him. Oosthuizen, I never play Oosthuizen. I cannot tell you the last time I clicked Oosthuizen's name. I'm playing him this week. Been golfing well. The course fits him well where, the long irons, he's accurate off the tee, just a smart, grinded out type golfer. So I'm going to be on him for the first time, I think. I can't, honestly, it's probably been years since I played Oosthuizen. I just do not play him. Kisner is another guy that he's been golfing well, solid results. Nothing worse than T25 in his last 5 events. So I just like riding guys that are hot. I'll have a little bit of him. I don't think he'll be overly owned. Then the one guy that's interesting to me, but I haven't decided what I'm going to do, is Sungjae. Do you guys have any read on him whatsoever?
Yeah, I don't got a read on Sungjae. I know he played better at that last event, right? And he did pretty well. AP, any interest in Sungjae M?
I mean, he's a ball striker. One decent finish in the field of 30. Like, I don't know. So, the thing about Kisner too, I looked at him, but he was actually pretty bad last week. Like, it's a 23rd finish, but 30 players in that field.
He is a stat darling, right? Like if you look at his stats, they're gonna pop, like for sure. Like the last whatever amount of rounds, he'll pop for sure. So if you're looking at like all the models, he'll definitely pop a bit.
That's just one. Like, if we play Sungjae, Tony's gonna make fun of us, and let's just avoid that. It's Sungjae. He's been bad. No, I get it. I mean, he's good off the tee, and he's a ball striker, but he hasn't been getting it done. Like, what I would rather do is play Benyon. Like, they're like the same play, but Benyon's cheaper. So, I mean, I guess if I was doing that, I'd just pay down.
Yeah, I mean, one thing about Benyon, right? He's got the good irons, and the issue he has is putting. And with the faster greens, that can help maybe neutralize the putting. It goes either way. If you're really good at putting, you can just be absolutely lights out. Or if you're as bad at it, just neutralize it for everyone. So
I know a guy. I think hoops on this guy. Are you playing Jordan Spieth?
Oh, definitely.
Yeah.
Oh man, you can never talk us into him.
He'd be the highest owned dude in my player pool for sure.
Jordan Spieth, man.
If Spieth was 6K, would you play him this week?
No,
I'd play him at 6K.
Yeah. Then you can get all the studs.
Yeah.
I don't know if I even would do it. I think you have to pay me to do it. He's been so bad. And like, honestly, if he was 6K, you know what would happen? He'd be like 25, 30% owned because everyone loves to play that guy. And I'd rather stay off that ownership because of how terrible he's been. So no thanks for me. This range, like I said, there's some good guys. I'm with you guys on Oosthuizen. He's a really good one. Let's give our favorite guy in this range and our favorite fade as well. I would say my favorite guy in this range, I'll go with I really like Louis Oosthuizen. He's definitely going to be my favorite, I think, in this range. And my favorite fade, I'm going to go with Gary Woodland, surprisingly. I don't want to touch him here at this spot. Hoop, how about you?
Favorite, man, I'm going to have to agree with you on Oosthuizen. Like I said, I never play Oosthuizen, but I'm going to be on Oosthuizen. My fade in this range will be Sergio and Jordan Spieth. I guess they're both right there. But, man, Sergio I know putting could be neutralized at this course because of how difficult it's going to be, but he legitimately just cannot make putts. So I'll be off him too.
Yeah, listen, you got to stay on brand, Hoop. May as well, right? Make fun of Jordan
Exactly.
Spieth. It's the way to go. How about you, AP? What are you doing?
Yeah, Matty Wolf, man, my favorite play.
Matty Wolf, favorite play, favorite fade?
Spieth.
Yeah, why not? Let's
Can't
all stay
play him.
safe. Spieth is just the stone worst. It's just amazing. 18% last week at a high price too. But
Man, I'm
yeah,
almost starting to feel bad for he is so bad. He's been just so bad.
it's a tough scene. It's a really tough scene for the guy. But hey, what are you gonna do? Hopefully he doesn't see the Corn Ferry Tour. That'd just be the stone, like low worst scenario. And everyone, I mean, people will have fun
Like
on
he's still
Twitter with it.
exempt for a while. He's lucky as he has all those majors.
Yeah, for sure. Let's
Oh,
go.
one thing to add real quick. The BMW Championship that did have 70 people. Just to clarify, it was the Tour Championship that had the 30. So Kisner's T25 wasn't as bad as we thought.
True. Let's go on to this next range, the 7.4 to 7K range. And man, Mr. Matt Kuchar's at 7.2, right? You typically get him at cheap prices in majors. And you're like, oh, he'll make cuts. He'll be great. And man, Kuchar has not been it. He's definitely struggled. Brendan Todd is probably the guy that I'm liking in this range a lot. I think he's a pretty good play. I'll go over to you, Hoop. Who are your favorite guys in this lower 7K range? Because there's not a lot I like.
Yeah, not a range I like a ton. Todd for sure. I mean, he's been really good at these difficult courses. You look at the BMW Championship, T8. You look at PGA Championship, T17. And then at the Memorial, T22. 3 very difficult courses. He performed very well. The problem here for him could be his length. He's not very long, but he's deadly accurate. So it's tough, but I do like him. Like I said, he's apparently playing very smart. He's playing good at these difficult courses. So at 7.4, I have interest. Ian Poulter's, he's just a guy I can't avoid at these grinded out type courses. Like, he's a very intelligent golfer. He's going to know where to put the ball, which is very important. Some of these holes, if you get above the hole, like, you're done. Like, the ball won't stop. I'm sure you guys have seen some of the videos on Twitter. Like, if you're above the hole, the ball could potentially roll 30 feet past the hole. You just cannot stop it. So I want to target guys that are smart, and Ian Poulter's a guy that's been around for a while. He knows how to manage these courses. But yeah, that's about it. I mean, I'm not really going to be playing anyone else in this range. Just most likely Todd and Poulter. That's probably it for me. I don't really like this range at all.
Yeah, I haven't decided if I'm like multi-entering a bunch, but if I do, I think this 7K range, like, I'm gonna be pretty overweight on the guys I like, because there's just not a ton I'm in love with. We'll go to UAP. Any guys stick out to you here?
Yeah, like originally there were some, but the more I look at this range, the grosser and grosser it gets. I mean, like Ian Poulter, I agree. I mean, he stands out in this range for sure. And the same with Brendan Todd. I mean, Brendan Todd could be like 7,700 and still in play. He's not long off the tee, but this guy is just playing really well. And the other thing is like, you probably don't even need to like score really well here. You just need to make pars and avoid bogeys, and that's what Brendan Todd does. And so I definitely agree with Hoop there. 2 other guys I was looking at, but like now the more I look at them, I'm not sure, is Bernd Wiesberger and Cam Smith down there in the 7K range. Wiesberger, like a Euro guy that kind of sometimes shows up for these hard courses. He's a good iron player. That's about it. More so like a deep tournament play, he's going to be sub 2%. And same for Cam Smith. He's going to be sub 2%. Cam Smith sucks off the tee, though. And so, like, he could be done instantly. I mean, he's definitely a risky play. Outside of that, like, there's two guys I just rather play down in the 6K range that are just under these guys' range.
Yeah, let me ask you about a couple more guys here. At least it's a tough range to obviously really get behind. I think Henrik Stenson's there, right? And you didn't really see that name, and you kind of are like, okay, like he would make some sense, right? He's good with the irons. My concern is he's kind of in that like he's at that age where golfers start falling off. Same with Kuchar. They're at that like lower 40s where guys start falling off. Any interest in a guy like Stenson, AP?
I missed the guy I had starred. No. I like Stenson is just kind of a name. and he hasn't played a ton. He was cut at the PGA. I think he missed it on the number, though. He played fine. And if he just shows up and makes pars, he could get there. I wish he'd been playing more. Siwoo Kim, tournament play. He's been playing really good. 7,200, very good iron player. T13 at the PGA Championship, which the PGA Championship was a brutal course as well. So kind of have some interest in Siwoo, actually.
All right. Here's the guy I want to ask you about, Hoop. It feels so dusty, right? But I feel like he's a guy that's been good at these U.S. Opens and just like at some of the majors. Lee Westwood at 7K. It feels gross, right? But I feel like this is the kind of course that fits his play style, right?
Yeah, I mean, I'm looking at these guys in this range. I'm looking at Kuchar. I'm looking at Stenson. I'm looking at Lee Westwood. I'm looking at all these guys, and like, I'd just rather save like $600, $700, $800, $1,000 and just go in that 6K range. To me, like, I don't know, like these guys. I mean, this is still a price tag, like 7.2, 7.1. Like these are price tags you have to respect a little bit. And I'm seeing myself just going a lot cheaper opposed to landing in this range. So I'm not going to be on Stenson or Westwood or who's the other guy that we talked about. Whoever the hell it was, but
does it matter? I think the more we talk about it, it's like, listen, there's always a range that we're not like super excited about. Like this was the past range we talked about, and we kind of tried to figure out some guys, and we spent some time on it. Mainly, we're just trying to see if we can come up with anything. But the more we talk about it, it's like just play the couple guys we liked, right? My favorite's Todd. Who's yours? Who?
I'll say Poulter, but I like Todd as well, and then I'm fading like a ton of them, so we don't even really need to go there.
Cool. AP, who's your guy here in this range? Your number one.
I mean, I kind of agree with you guys.
Todd.
Let me go with Siwoo. He's been, playing really well. And so yeah, we'll go Siwoo.
All right, let's talk about this lower 6K range. Basically, we'll go 6'9" to or let's just go the whole 6K range. There's so many guys, so many different guys we can talk about, but some of them are terrible, and some of them aren't even going to stand a chance, right? Like no need to go whoever Sandy Scott is, and I don't know, John Pack. Like some of these guys are just absolutely dusty plays. Let's go to you, Hoop. Who is your favorite guy in the 6K range?
Yeah, I'm gonna have a lot of exposure to guys down here, not all the way at the bottom. You go all the way to the bottom, and yeah, it gets frightening. Van Ruin, I have a little bit of interest in. I haven't been playing him much, but he's a guy I think that can contend at some of these more difficult courses. Ches Reavie, really good with long irons. I know he's getting talked up a lot, so his ownership could get up there, but 6.9K, not a bad price tag for him. Guy that's been playing really well, Jason Kokrak. I mean, I was shocked when I pulled up the results. 15th, 13th, and 6th in his last 3 events. He can drive the ball pretty well. Definitely, all these guys are risky down here, but I have some interest in him. Thomas Peters hasn't really played over here much. Overseas guy for sure, but he plays difficult course as well. I kind of view him the same as like Fitzpatrick. So I'll have a little bit of him. Kevin Streelman, 6.7K. Ryan Palmer, I think, is interesting. Adam Hadwin, Munoz. Munoz been playing really well, actually. He's 6'6". Lanto Griffin's another guy that's been playing well. Did I say Hadwin? I kind of like Hadwin.
Yeah, you said Hadwin. Hadwin's one I really like. I think that's a good call.
Yeah, I like Hadwin. I mean, to me, like you look at a guy like Hadwin, and he's just better than these guys down here. I mean, obviously, 1 week sample size, he could get completely dusted at this event, but 6.6, like I'd rather click on his name than a lot of these guys. Brian Harmon, Joel Damon. So those are some of the guys I'm looking at. I'm going to be in this range, though, quite a bit because I want to get to that top tier. So I'm going to spread it out with these guys and have exposure to quite a few.
Yeah, did you mention Brian Harmon? I know that's one of the guys you like a lot.
Yeah, I tossed him in there. Yep.
All right, cool. Let's go to UAP. 6K guys. Who sticks out to you? Besides your boy Benny On, I noticed he's 6'8" there, so I'm sure you're going to be on him.
Yeah, I like EVR on these hard courses. You don't want to play him at Birdie Fest events. We said that. Played him at the PGA. He started off really good, and then he finished, T51. But I mean, really you want these guys making cuts. I definitely think he's going to make the cut this week. He's very good off the tee, and his putters let him down. So it just fits that narrative that we can discount putting here. The other thing, like Ches Reavie, like he's popping when you run some basic models. Yeah, he definitely pops. But I can't play like a 15 to 18, maybe 20% own Ches Reavie at a major. So for me, I'll probably let ownership dictate my decision on him. I just would much rather fade it. He was T75 at the PGA. I mean, sure, it could screw me, but it's like Ches Reavie. If he was low owned, I would love him as a play. So that's kind of my stance on him. And then, I agree with a lot of the plays that Hoop mentioned. I got to say, Benny On, I feel like he's just a cheap version of some of those ball strikers that we talked about in the mid 7K range. So if I'm trying to get those studs into my lineup, Benny On makes a lot of sense. And the thing about Benny On is he's terrible at putting. Like, he is really bad. So, I mean, hopefully, since it's really tough for everyone this week, hopefully that helps him out. The one thing about him, too, I think, didn't he tweet out something where he shot like 8 over on the back 9?
No, I didn't see that one. Did you?
Or like on something. So hopefully it takes people off of him. But I always love when a player like tweets out that they're playing bad or something like that. Because then they always come out and, people move off of them and, they come out and put up a good performance. And then, down here, like Thomas Peters is always a guy on tough courses that I have some interest in. I want to see has he been playing on the Euro Tour over there? Do you guys know?
Yes, yeah. He's actually had some good results recently. Let's see. He's 21st, 3rd, and 15th. That's at the Qatar Masters, Celtic Classic, and Wales Open. So whatever the hell those events are, he's played well at.
Yeah, and then, for me, Brian Harmon is kind of like a cheap Ches Reavie play. I think what I would do if Ches Reavie's getting talked up, I think what I'm going to do is play Brian Harmon, who's probably going to be half his ownership. And they just seem like the exact same player. I mean, I don't know. Would you guys agree with that? They're not long hitter.
Well,
they're consistent. Go ahead.
The thing I like about Harmon, not to cut you off, but like the thing I like about him a little bit here over like a Ches Reavie is one thing that matters a ton in these type of events is like getting birdies, right? Because it's not a birdie fest. So being able to get those like type of scores, being able to have holes where you're getting a birdie, you're like an eagle. Like if Harmon hits an eagle on a hole, it's massive. And he's a guy that just scores pretty well, right? Like he's very up and down. He's not a guy that's going to go out there and just get like 18 pars in a row and call it a day. So that can be good for the Draftkings scoring. Hoop, what about you? I know you like Harmon, but what do you think of it with my reasoning?
Oh yeah, no, definitely. I mean, that's going to be a big factor. The scoring is going to be weird this week. I mean, when you look at it, and I mean, if the winning score, all right. So when the U.S. Open was held this course, what was it, like 14 years ago or something? The winning score was like 5 or 6 over. Like the scoring is going to be very weird, and that's why. Placement is going to come big into play because there's not going to be many birdies. So if you feel good about your guy getting some birdies, I mean, it's going to be different. It's just going to be different this week.
You know who else I might play in this range? Because I do like the stud route. I feel like you're going to need the winner. Like if you want to win a tournament, you need the winner. The placement points are going to be so important. And man, Chesson Hadley, 6,300. I like playing this guy on tough courses. He's a really good iron player. He finished 9th last year at the U.S. Open, and I've been avoiding him at Birdie Fest. He's kind of like EVR. You play him on tough courses where you put a priority on good ball striking, getting it off the tee, good iron play, and that's what Hadley is. So I'll definitely have some shares of Hadley.
All right. Yeah, I think that's a good call there. Anything else? Anyone got any final thoughts on this range? Anyone else we want to discuss?
No, I mean, overall, it's going to be fun. I mean, it's going to be different. If it is truly as tough as people are saying, which all indications are, I haven't heard anyone say, oh, wait, it's going to be easier than people think. Everyone's saying it's going to be a bloodbath out there. It'll be fun to watch. I mean, you see, if you haven't done so, check out the videos on Twitter. A lot of guys are posting them about the rough and then the greens, how quick they are. But it's going to be something that we haven't seen in a while, so should be a lot of fun this week.
Yep, should be a good one. Let's head on to our winners. We'll go with you first, AP. I think you were talking about a little bit of one of the guys you like that's going to win it all. So who's your guy? Who's shipping this thing?
I feel like we're going to see another young gun win it. I'm going to go with Matty Wolff. Like I feel like DJ could just go and win every golf tournament that he's going to play, but I'm not. Like, it's just boring to pick DJ. So I got to go with Matty Wolff. I love how he's playing right now. I'm confident that he's going to contend this week. I think he's going to top 10.
All right, Matty Wolff it is. Hoop, how about you? Who's your guy to ship it the whole thing?
It's going to be the guy that's pictured right behind me, Mr. Matsuyama. Feel good about him. Tough course. He's a grinder. I think he can grind it out. Just needs to really avoid like the big blow-up round, which he's always capable of. He can go out there and shoot an 80, 82, especially at this course. If he can avoid that, I think he's in contention. He can pick up a win here.
All right, I'm going to give you my winner. I'm going to go with my man Pat Reed, Mr. Fat Pat. He's been pretty good, and he likes this course. Seems like he's up for it, and I like the way his game is trending. So give me Patrick Reed. He's going to be my guy that ships it all. But we got to go. Thanks a lot for joining us here on the Strokes Game PGA Show. If you guys haven't, check it out at Run Pure Sport. Check out all the content we got. We got tons of NFL content. We got PGA stuff. So much you guys got to check out. It'll be up on Wednesday, and don't miss out on the NFL content. It's been absolutely amazing. We had some wins. We had a 6th place finish in the FanDuel Millie Maker and a 4th place in the Draftkings Millie Maker on the first week. So far, so good. We'll be doing our best to give you guys the winners for week 2 of the NFL. But we got to go and get on out of here. Thanks a lot for joining us, guys. For me, Mangone, Hoop, and AP, we're out of here.